Okay, I want to do a full face of Demi today, and I have my Demi colors kind of put into sections. So these two colors right here are my toning colors. So this is 05 and OI1, so I'm going to do these first. Okay, and then these colors right here are my Sculpt colors or contour colors. Okay, these colors right here are my filtering colors or the colors that replace my foundation. And then these are my lip and cheek options. Oh, and this color right here is my eyeshadow. So that's kind of how I have it separated. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna start by toning with a little 05, and we're going to apply 05 just right here on the jawline, on the chin area. I'm gonna add a little color right here in the forehead as well. So with toning, we're either adding color or we're removing excess color. So for example, where I have some red right here, I'm gonna use a little bit of this OI1 to tone. Okay, so like I said, I was adding a little OI1 right here just to the red areas of my face. And I'm even gonna add it just over some of my red looking acne spots. Just kind of help soften the appearance of that. Just a little bit. We're gonna bring it down the neck too. Up here. So we always wanna tone first. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of definition around my cheekbone area. So I'm gonna start, I like to mix kind of NR and NV. It just kind of gives me the perfect color. So it's a red violet. So we're neutralizing the, what is that? Green yellow in the skin. It just adds a little bit of warmth too. Sculpting, blush, then filtering. Okay, so I'm going to do some of these, I'm gonna mix these two. It's like VR3 and RV3. They're like this really pretty springy pink. Okay, now I'm gonna focus on neutralizing these little acne spots, and I'm going to use Y01 for the ones that look more vibrant or red looking. And we're just gonna take the tiniest amount of product. I'm just gonna tap it on. I let it sit there sometimes for a second, let it warm up on the skin, and then I'll tap it out. So any little spot that just looks more vibrant-y, more red, then you're most likely going to use Y01 there. And then the spots that look more like dull or dingy, we're going to use the O's for that, because that means it has more blue in it than purple. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the O's. These are the O's right here. Okay, so like these guys, they're not quite as bright, so I'm going to try the O's. This one is really dull, so I'm using 03. The darker it looks, more kind of like a faded acne scar. It means you need to go deeper in saturation level, so a higher number. So you're gonna go for like the 3s versus a 1. And you can kind of see that when I use the right color in the right place, those little spots will just disappear right away, which is really cool. And if you put it on and it looks kind of chalky, but you're like, it is darker, then that just means you're probably just using too light of a shade. So like if you're using 01 and it's looking chalky, then just reach for an 03. Okay, so most of these little spots around my mouth are all just gonna need 03. Now let's move on to our under eyes, and we're mainly just gonna use these three colors, Y1, 01, and 03, which are the same colors we used for acne. So I'm gonna start with the bright brush, and I'm gonna go in with my Y01, and see how it's like this purpley blue section right here. Just gonna take the little tiniest amount of Y01 and just wash right there in that purpley section. Oh my gosh, sorry, it's overcast and it's really bright. It's making my eyes water. Okay, and then in the kind of deeper points right here where it's more blue, I'm gonna reach for the 01. Just right there. Okay, so then I just took a little bit of the 03 and I put it right here on the inner corners where that bluish vein is. Also gonna dab just a little bit right in this line. Should use the spot brush for this section. And then I'm gonna take a little bit on this outer corner of the eye. Let me look in my mirror. Where it's a little bit of a shadowy blue shadow. Same thing on this side. And then I'll switch back to the spot brush to do this little vein with 03 as well. Really blue. And veins are really, really pigmented, so it's not gonna like make it completely disappear. But what it will do is it will totally soften and just balance the color around that vein, and it just won't look near as obvious anymore. For on my lips, I just mix the NR and the NV, and I use the eyeshadow brush, and well, the small side, and I just kind of lined around the lips, and then I flipped it over and just kind of buffed it out. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of the 03 to kind of neutralize some of the blue in my lips. And then I'm going to go and add just a touch of color in the center with this RB7. It's like a very natural lip color. Add just a little bit of 03 over the top of that to neutralize some of it, of the pink. This is our finished product. I'll zoom in a little bit. Just see nice balanced even skin. It's very light, very natural. It's all right here.